Something huge is coming, and I fully believe this. Hey, everybody, you're watching Bull, Boom, Bear, Bust. It is Thursday, March 31st, 2022, ending out the first quarter, 2022. And it's been a heck of a quarter. We're going to talk about that. The stock market actually negative for the first time in about 2 years, the first negative quarter in about 2 years. And we told you more than 2 years ago that you're going to start seeing some amazing, not so wonderful, but amazing things happen in our world and with our financial system and the economy. And we warned you it's going to be one crisis after another. And I think that trend is going to continue. And yes, something huge is coming. So let's take a look at the financial news, the economic news, and the evidence today that something huge is coming. Now, today, we got news that should have been good news. It should have been market positive, that the emergency oil reserves are being released. Now, is this going to fix the problem with high gas prices? No, this was just meant as an emergency temporary measure in case we ran out of gas. These are emergency reserves. It wasn't meant to just be to try to compensate for shortages and lack of production and high costs. It was meant to be emergency reserves in case we're actually running out of oil. Well, we're still importing oil. We're still pumping some oil here in the US. So while it's not a solution, you would have expected the markets to at least maybe stay positive or rise on this, what many perceive as good news. We know it's not really good news because of what I just explained to you, but the perception of it should have been market positive, but it wasn't. Let's take a look at the markets here. Take a look at a chart of the Dow Jones. And I think you'll notice something here, and a lot of you probably see this already. Now, I'm not one to call tops, I'm not one to call bottoms, because I know how easily money can be thrown at these markets. But when you have most stocks, actually about 90% of all stocks are owned by the top 10%. It only takes a small fraction of these sellers to really impact the markets. And if they start sensing that the easy money's going or that there's some sort of shift, then they can make this market go down pretty quickly. Now, we're not seeing a plunge, but what I'm seeing here, and I think you'll see it too, is that up until the high that we saw in December, late December 2021, the dips have not been bought as aggressively, and in fact, we're starting to see a downtrend. We're talking about lower lows and lower highs. Up until this time, every dip was bought and went on to new highs. Take a look at what's happened. Dip back here, new high, dip back here, and this appears to be a double top. Now, again, I'm not one for chart reading. There's people out there like Harry Dent, very big into reading charts, and he's calling some topping patterns. He's putting it out there. I'm not so much into reading charts because I know, again, how much this market can be moved just by the money that can be pumped into these markets. So markets will go up until the pumpers stop pumping. Also, somebody like Jay Bravo, he's big into reading charts. Now, I haven't heard his analysis recently, but from time to time, I do tune in. If I want to have a laugh, that's a very high energy guy right there. I'd like to know what he's on because he's pretty funny and energetic. But the markets look to be topping, and using the Dow Jones as a gauge, I am sensing that something is in the works right now. And if you look back, let's go back 5 years, you see the same thing. Dip, higher high, dip, higher high, dip, higher high. Then, of course, we know what happened in early 2020, this huge dip right here. Rapid recovery, one of the fastest recoveries we've ever seen. Dip, higher high, dip, higher high. And now it looks like a topping pattern to me, folks. Please let me know what you think. I really don't care either way because I'm hedged for a downturn while also trying to invest and make money. Speaking of that, I did put out my video over at the members channel. And over there, I go over my entire investment portfolio. And I've done pretty good as far as gains this year. Now, for some reason, when I mention it on this channel, I get a lot of negative comments, thumbs down, and stuff like that. So I'm just going to leave that over to my members here over at the Patreon platform. Link will be down below. You can also get access to me over there. We'll also talk about things over there that we don't really talk about here. But yeah, my last report for those patrons that are already with me, go over there because I break it all down for you, and my overall strategy for how I trade. Please go check that out. Link down below, and here's the link right here. And you also just support the channel just by a few dollars each month. You help keep me going here on this channel, so thank you very much. Now let's shift gears a little bit here. Recent article: nearly 1 in 3 American workers make less than $15 per hour. How many cities can you pay rent in or afford a house for $15 an hour? Well, not many, and it's 1/3 of the US population. So people are going to be looking for more payout programs and things like that, more assistance programs. And let's take a look at this. This goes right along with this. Okay, we talked about this a few reports ago. Consumer sentiment 10-year low, but take a look at this. This is shocking, but not so shocking if you've been paying attention. It is insane. With inflation running hot, Google searches for food stamps remains elevated. So the searches for food stamps took a big uptick with all the shutdowns, everything we saw in early 2020 with the health crisis. And now, over 2 years later, since the emergence of that, searches are still elevated. So the average person that needed help still needs help. What happened to all the trillions in spending packages, all the new money printing, with the increase in dollars in existence increasing by 80% just in the past 2 years? Again, it did not get to the people that really needed it the most. And this goes right along with that. Inflation, food stamp, people looking for food stamps, people still looking for handouts. Pretty sad. People are just getting eaten up right now with this inflation. They're going to have to increase the amount of dollars on these food stamps as far as I can see with these rising costs. So please let me know what you think. Will the oil reserve release 1 million barrels a day? Will that bring down gas prices? And is that the solution? Well, obviously reserves are limited, so I don't think it's going to be a solution. I think we may see a temporary dip, maybe down to the 90s, maybe upper 80s, maybe not even that. Please let me know down in the comments what you think. What do you think about the elevated search for food stamps? Did not drop back down, even now 2 years later after the health crisis. 1 in 3 people making less than $15 an hour. Topping pattern in the Dow Jones, yes or no? I'm starting to see a topping pattern here. I don't call tops, but to me, if I was a chart reader, this looks like a topping pattern. Again, please let me know down in the comments. Also, Patreon link down below. Join me over there. We're investing. We're making money. We're talking about a lot of stuff we don't talk about here, and it can help me keep bringing you these updates and keep me alive. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Be well. Big love and peace.